No, you're fine. I just want to make sure he was good.
Yep. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Good evening. It is Monday, December 11th, 2023. It is about 6:40 p.m., and this is the Buildings and Utilities Committee. I am Mrs. Marshall Chair, and I have Mr. Twist and Mr. Whitten with me as well. We have two items tonight. The first is to provide a recommendation to council regarding authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to enter into an amendment to the intergovernmental agreement between the City of Dayton and the City of Troy for bulk pebble lime for the water treatment plant, so that the amendment agreement can be in place for the beginning of the year. When the current agreement expires, consideration of emergency legislation is requested. Mr. Tedrington?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will preface this by saying that the CRAC utility staff is in the audience if you want to learn all about lime softening. I would encourage you to do so off camera, but they're available if you'd like to have them on camera. Since 2014, the city has been supplied with lime for our softening process at the water plant from the City of Dayton. They have the facilities, they have the kiln, they have the process. The benefits that we have realized, that our customers have realized, are twofold. Number one, buying the lime from them is significantly cheaper than on the open market. It is basically recycled lime. It's reconstituted, re-energized, whatever the technical term is. I'm sure it's not what I just said. But also at the same, as part of our contract, they come and get the recycling material in the form of what is processed through and left in the two lagoons behind the water treatment plant. Prior to 2014, we would have to clean out at least one of those lagoons every year. I meant to look back that far, but I know it was over $100,000 to do that cleaning. So we get that provided to us as part of this contract, but we still pay less for the lime even after that's factored in. So for the last 10 years, we have been the beneficiaries of that, and it has to do with the type of recycled material that they put out, the type of plant we have, the concentration of raw water and the chemicals that are in that raw water, so it was just a perfect match. And it continues to be. The agreement expires on January 1st of 2024, so we are asking for emergency legislation. There was a lot of back and forth. They've done some renovations out to at the Dayton plant. There are several of us that have contracts with the City of Dayton, so there's a lot of coordination, which is why I took it up to the 11th hour here. This is an extended contract for another 5 years with 2 5-year extensions possible by mutual agreement. We will continue to see a savings over the market, even though due to inflation and some other factors related to the capital improvements that they did at the plant, there will be a 34% price increase. And just to account for inflation and make sure that it's smooth, the impact is smoothed out as much as possible, the current contract is amended so that there are some annual cost factors that can be taken into consideration. As I mentioned, we are asking for emergency legislation, and if you have any more technical questions, I would strongly encourage you to ask them and consider people that actually know what the heck's going on out there to answer for.
Do you gentlemen have any questions?
I have a generic question, because it says provide the supply of 1,400 tons of lime. I'm assuming we know pretty much how much lime we use. There's not going to be a scenario where suddenly we're at 2,000 tons. Is that correct?
Yes, so based on our current water.
Yeah, come to the microphone, just to verify.
Yes, based on our current water usage for 2023, we actually exceeded that 1,400 tons there. And so, projecting for next year, the water usage has been going up year over year for the last couple of years. So if we had just had the same water usage as of this year, we would meet that 1,400. That said, even though it lists a minimum there, it's not that we have to buy that per se. It's just the agreement is that we would attempt to buy that minimum amount from them before we go somewhere else. So we can still buy other places. Like this year, they were shut down for a time. We had to buy 4 loads from another supplier.
Okay, so this is more the minimum that we can go over.
Yeah, we can go over that piece of it. We just can't go over the maximum on the sludge hauling back out to them of the 5,000. Because it's the 1,400 times by that 2.5.
So we can't go over that. Would we ever go over that?
Only if our usage increased significantly.
Significant.
Mhm.
But we plan that accordingly. We would know there's going
We
to be
should know,
a significant
yes, right.
increase.
That would
Okay.
be an enormous increase. Yeah.
Okay. And did they give us a breakdown of what the 34% included? Obviously, the cost of lime, but was there capital improvements on their end? Are they charging us for fuel? Did they give a reasons for their cost increase?
So it's actually based off of a calculation from the federal level. I believe it's BLS.org, and they look at the price index for various industries. And for this industry, the last year was a 34% increase for just this industry, and that's what those price increases are based off of.
And we don't get a price increase in the 5 years,
No, so it's
or through 2028, they're correct, it stays that
No,
flat rate.
there's annual price adjustments
Adjustments.
in the amended contract, so that, again, we can stabilize any kind of impact and not see a spike
Right.
at the end of 5 years. So they are built in for the next 5 years.
We did not do that previous.
It was in there previously, yeah.
We just didn't, okay. Because 34, I understand there's inflation, but if we were counting for annual increases, it's still, like, still
Pretty big increase.
a big increase.
It is.
Based on us calculating annual increments
If you look
through
at-
the contract. I understand if we didn't have a raise in the contract for 4 years, but, okay.
If you look at the history, they haven't done a lot of increases or very small in the recent past, so this is almost like a catch-up.
So they were smaller
smaller
incrementals than they
increases
probably
before.
should have
Yeah.
taken.
They can't go above this maximum 34%,
They
but they always go less than that, according to the contract.
Okay. All right, those are mine.
I had
Oh,
one.
hold on, he's got more.
We're purchasing in bulk. Is it delivered in bulk, or do we pick up as needed, or once we purchase it, we have it here in the city?
Yeah, so they're responsible for the trucking, and we get a truckload, bulk transit truckload from them, so about 24 tons per truckload.
And the sludge removal, that is also done in bulk too? They just take it in one go?
Yeah, so they take that out in, it's more of a liquid form there, so we get it in a solid form to us, and then they haul it out in tanker trucks, add just a little bit more water so that they can pump that out. They bring the equipment in, and that gets pumped out to them, and they treat it at their plant, because they have to have it liquefied for their plant.
And so this is Gary Evans, our water plant superintendent. He didn't introduce himself,
Oh,
in all modesty. But we are getting deliveries weekly, correct?
Yes, yeah, we get a minimum of 2 truckloads a week. This week, we're set up to get 3, and next week as well, to get caught back up from when they were shut down for a time.
All right, interesting. All right, any other council members have any questions? Nope. Any audience members have any questions? All right, then,
Move forward.
All right.
Move forward,
Move forward.
emergency.
All right, we will move forward with that, emergency legislation for that. The second item on our agenda is to provide a recommendation to council regarding authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to enter into an amendment to the professional service agreement with Hazen and Sawyer of Cincinnati, Ohio, to include design services for a pump replacement and sludge holding tank blower and pump replacement at the wastewater treatment at an additional cost of $407,480, with a total not to exceed design costs of $1,657,140, and to authorize the Director of Public Service and Safety to execute any necessary agreements for funding of the design and construction of this project, so that this agreement amendment can be executed at the end of 2003 budget savings. Consideration of emergency legislation is requested for this as well. Mr.
Okay,
Carrington.
so if you thought the water discussion was fascinating, wait till you hear about wastewater. Since 2020, that's when we started the design work on the well, it's actually less than that, but you authorized up to $14 million worth of expansion at the wastewater treatment plant. Hazen and Sawyer was awarded that contract to do all the engineering design. In 2020 and 2022, council authorized bidding of that project. The ultimate goal is to increase the daily treatment capacity of the plant from 7 million gallons per day to 9.6 million gallons per day. To fund the construction and the engineering, the city was first awarded a low-interest 30-year loan through the OEPA for $12.9 million. Subsequent to that, after we had executed the loan documents, we received a $6 million grant through the Ohio Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Program. And as we told you some time ago, as part of reevaluating the funding structure of not only that project but the sewer fund, there were 2 or 3 projects, large capital projects that we would have liked to have funded in that program when it was when we thought it was all a low interest loan, and to adjust the I guess to minimize the impact of rate increases in the sewer fund. Those projects were pushed out of our capital plan into the out years. Given the fact that we are now only borrowing roughly $6-7 million, and we have the $6 million grant, we want to do 2 or 3 other projects that are related to this expansion project that are very important, but now is the time to be able to, if you'll pardon the pun, capitalize on that. One of them is the, return activated sludge, waste activated sludge, RASWAS, pump and sludge holding tank blower pump replacement. Those are several $million. I want to say they're between $2.5 and $3 million in construction costs, maybe a little less than that. But to properly design and get ready to come to you for bidding, if that in fact is necessary, we do need to increase the Hazen and Sawyer contract by $407,000 to do the design work necessary for those additional projects. Again, they're all related, and they're all eligible to fall under the loan and the grant resources, and so we are recommending that you authorize an amendment to that professional services agreement. We do have the funds available in the 2023 budget. We're almost out of time in 2023, and so we're asking for emergency legislation so we can authorize it and sign these documents before December 31st.
Gentlemen?
Is there 3 aeration basins? Are there 3 aeration basins, and is there a Roswas in each one of those? Did we replace, what did we do before on the,
I don't know what you're looking at me for.
well, you should know, 3?
I made our wastewater staff too in the back. So there are 2 basins.
2 basins.
You have, as part of your current existing construction project, we're adding a 3rd basin.
We're adding the 3rd basin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There are pump 5, right? We're replacing 5 RAS
Yes.
that will be replaced as part of this, and 2 WAS.
Okay. And we were replacing diffusers? No, something previous, correct?
Correct. In the existing aeration basins, blower, you've already funded,
Blowers
right?
and
The
the
almost
diffusers.
11 mil, yes, and new diffusers in
Okay.
those already.
So this is part of that. Okay.
Correct.
That was it. I'm just clarifying in my mind
Sure.
how many basins and
You're
what
on your game.
we were doing.
Yes,
Okay.
you are.
You are on it
I know, I came from too many meetings today.
Gold star.
I was gonna ask some of the experts, but Bill took care of it all, actually.
You good?
I'm good, yeah.
All right, any other council members have any questions? All right. Any members of the audience have any questions? No? All right. How will we
Move forward with emergency.
All right. We will move forward with emergency legislation. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.